Why, hello, everybody. My name is Devin-Foxy 2 Remastered, and today's video we're going to be talking about is the regular show. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, the regular show. Man, I gotta say about the regular show, man, it's just that I have to say is that, well, man, how do I say this? And I mean, how do I really put this in my own perspective of saying the regular show? Well, the regular show, I actually was pretty bit well done to say is that, well, it was pretty interesting. The regular show was. Like, it was very actually interesting. For once I'd say that, even though I think it was kind of a little bit of an adult thing, I guess, but hey, I mean, some people do say that it might be for children or something, or just might be for teens, which I don't basically know. However, that's different. But I'd say regular show was an interesting show I had ever watched. I watched a lot of funny humor on that show, and then some interesting stuff was being played on to that, which, I gotta say, most of the cast members, well, they did a great job. I mean, the voicing, pretty much, however, the voicing was easy and also amazing. And I love the fact that most characters actually did very well in regular show. Like, I mean, man, it was around in 2010 to 2017. Like, holy snap, dude. Like, let me see on 17. Okay, so that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's like, wow. That's been a lot of years, dude. That's been like lots that I couldn't even count with my fingers. Which I was going to count my fingers, but it was just like, very interesting. I mean, very so called interesting for how many times I would count by my fingers. But, that's not important right now. So, yeah. Anyway, so the characters I have to say about Mordecai, wow. Mordecai was just pretty good, actually. Pretty badass, though. I mean, pretty freaking badass. Which, I mean, hey, Mordecai, though, he had pretty good skill and talent, which I'd say he had a pretty much well done and skilled talent, by pretty much having, two hotties, exactly, or just consider having two girlfriends or something that pretty much fighted over Mordecai that was just Margaret and CJ at the moment, I think. And then as in for Rigby, yeah, he seemed a pretty bit of a wild card, actually. He seemed pretty well of a wild card, which I'd say is that, wow. I mean, who knew he was kind of a wild card at some point? But yeah, that's very interesting. I just, when I say some characters are very interesting, that I say is, I'd say it's just real interesting. That's just all I would say. It's just well interesting. And then, as into another point, I would say about Benson. Oh yeah, Benson was pretty bit of a good boss. Always been a good boss. Because the reason why I think he was a good boss exactly because man, it was kind of funny after when I saw him yelling for a few times at Mordecai and Ribby. It was just that funny that I was like, wow. I was like, damn, dude. I was like, damn, dude. Man, no wonder why I think that was kind of hilarious. And then I just love the fact how the humor gets hilarious every time. Even if there were some jokes into that show, oh my god, I couldn't get used to those jokes. It was actually pretty bit funny. And then, as in for Skips, wow, Skips was actually pretty good. He was pretty bit emotional and pretty bit well good and very absolutely pretty calm though. But the voice, oh my god, that actually was very good of that voice. I'd say it's just, very good of that voice. I'd say, not gonna lie about those words, but that was a good voice that Skips even was doing. Very good voice of him. And then, Thomas, huh? Well, Thomas. Well, I have to say that, man, one person actually recognizes about that character. I was like, wait, who do I know this guy from? Like, who do I know this character from? That was pretty much named Thomas. Which I'm not talking about Thomas the Train, and not talking about Thomas the Train. No, I'm talking about the Thomas. I was talking about the Thomas in regular show. I was like, wait a second. Do I actually kind of know this character, or could have I know about this voice actor a little bit from a Sonic thing? Yeah, I think it was definitely from Sonic, so I think it was definitely Greg Roger Smith, which, man, I was like, yo, wait, what? I was like, wait, what in a minute? I was like, wait, what in a minute? How did I not recognize that voice from it? From that same voice actor who was considered in Sonic Boom. or consider doing Sonic impressions. Man, that is crazy, and that's pretty wild, though. That's actually pretty wild. And then, as in for pretty much, I would say about Pops, by the way, I don't know whoever voiced it Pops, by the way, but I'm just going to give it a guess a little bit and just say is that, well, I love the fact that when Pops said was good old jolly show. I just love the fact when he just said good old jolly show. It's just, wow, I never knew he even said that, but interesting stuff from a guy that actually just likes, being familiar to be nice with people, which I mean, that's kind of well respected from a guy who pretty much would be a little bit old timey, a little bit, but still appreciated. But I have to say about Pops, okay, well, at least I say that Pops was actually a little bit good material, which I'd say that he was great material in pretty much in the show anyway from the park. That considers to be a regular show. And then about Muscle Man, oh yeah, Muscle Man, man, that dude was pretty good. I mean, that dude was always pretty good coming up with jokes. He would say is like, you know who else would want to be talking about that? My mom. Like seriously, I don't know how he ever says those jokes, but it's just kind of actually hilarious. The most funniest pranks that I ever seen. For however that he always just goes on and says it, but really, it's just like, wow. I was really inspired by however that Muscle Man actually made that kind of a joke that funny. At least something funny. I was like, damn, Muscle Man. I was like, okay, brother. Like, I was okay, brother. And then about High Five Ghost, that was along with pretty much with him. Man, High Five Ghost was actually pretty good. Even if he was invisible or was a ghost, then yeah, he pretty much was a ghost. That I was like, all right, man. I was like, all right, man, that's cool. Like having a friend as a ghost. I mean, having a friend as a ghost is pretty like, all right, that's just pretty chilled. I mean, that's pretty chill to even have a friend to have a ghost, but that's pretty cool. And then as in for pretty much Eileen exactly, that was pretty much with Ribby. Oh my god, that is actually pretty good. I just love these two, you just saying is Ribby and Eileen pretty much have a good common use for each other. Very good common use for that, which even though some of that's going to be a different explainable story, but I'm not going to make it a long story for that anyway, but just seem to have like a bit of a different touch for it. And then, as in for Mordecai's story, well, how do I say that in a different way without saying it in a harder way by saying is that, well, at least some actually got a little bit quite interesting. However, the fact that Mordecai was still trying to like prepare to still do everything around, by the way, by any reason, just saying is that, just keeping either Margaret or just keeping CJ, which we know what CJ is, that she was a cloud girl. So, yeah, by any reason. So yeah, I mean, I guess I should say that I'm not going to fight over whoever's going to be who and who between. However, Mordecai's life got a little bit harder or somewhat interestingly different about that kind of story, but at least he just like comes around and comes by and see what he just does for a simple reason and see what it's going to go on with it. That's just how I would kind of explain that detail and just kind of how I would explain it. But you know me, I just say is like whatever comes around with the story, then it just comes along with the story. So yeah, and I mean, I love the fact about the show exactly that the show had a lot of seasons, which I mean, hey, I mean, regular show had lots of quite a seasons a bit for exactly, but I'd say how long the season was what ending was around like, I think it ended like around in 2017, and I was quite surprised that it even was still aired in 2013. I was like, all right, okay, well, at least I got a little bit to know the show a little bit and got a little humor from it, just to say how I thought the show was funny and very quite interesting at my expense to find it a very interesting way. So, me, if I find something interesting, then it just, I will might as well consider actually having my entire explain about that. So, anyway, if you guys consider enjoying this video, thank you guys very much for watching, and please be sure to give this video a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, and this is Devin-Foxy 2 Remastered. And also, hope you guys really, 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 really enjoyed the video. And plus, by the way, I mean, I wish I could still make a video for that on my first channel, but no, I have to pretty much consider doing it for my backup channel, since, I'm going to just try to consider making more videos there on my backup channel and see if you guys consider liking it more exactly, then yeah, hope you guys actually do. But anyway, in the meantime, everybody, thank you all that much for watching. And if you guys like regular show, oh, trust me, regular show, oh, I've watched it since I was like, kind of like a teenager a little, or just a kid, which I don't know if I actually ever remembered watching so, but it was quite of a long time ever since I've watched it before it kind of did ended around 2017, which it kind of sucked for it. But hey, I mean, at least they had a good life in 2017 for that, and just consider saying is like, oh, you know what? Let's make this our final battle and make this as our last end to finish it all. So yeah, I mean, it was quite of an interesting show, and it was a very well, absolute perfect show. But I mean, that's where everybody remembers it in their hearts to watch it of regular show. But anyway, just to be quietly fair, so thank you all very much for watching. So, I would say that most things I'd say are quite fair with me, and I'm always a fair person to make like fair reasons with some, fair stuff exactly to make things very fair with certain characters, or say that, that might relate to whatever, but that's just fair with me. That's just where I'd say is that, I'm fair with that. I'm cool with that, and I'm chill with it. So anyway, without all further say, everybody, thank you all very much for watching. So be sure, like as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. And if you want to subscribe to my backup channel, then remain to subscribe. So anyway, without all further ado, thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you, and have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.